It's been a hot minute since I've been in the shop or made any videos, but we've got a MS260 that a coworker asked me to get going for him. This apparently was found on the side of the road years ago, and it worked great up until it didn't. We've got a broken flippy cap on the oil. He never even mentioned that the recoil handle was broke off it, so I'm assuming we've got a no-run condition. So let's get this thing ripped apart and at least fix that recoil up and check it over before we tear too deep into it. Clearly been sitting for a while. The recoil bolts are rusty. Some sand in it. Nice. And I have no idea if this thing's going to turn over or what's going on with it. So, hopefully it just needs a rope. Oh yeah. Feels like we got some decent compression there. And that clearly is not the right recoil rope. That's string. So we'll get that fixed out. We'll change this out and we'll see if we can get this thing fired up. Definitely if we get it running, it needs a good cleaning, but we'll get there when we get there. Before we even get too carried away, let's just put a good recoil on it. See what happens here. I know from having the fuel cap off, that fuel smells pretty stale, so I think it's been a good while since this ran. Let's just hope that it actually does run. I mean, I do have parts to do just about everything on this thing. I don't have another 44.7 top end. We do have a 44, so we can make an 026 out of it if we have to. Like I said, the compression figure feels pretty decent, but something doesn't sound quite right there. We'll find out what it is shortly. I really wish smell-o-vision was a thing so you could smell how bad the fuel in this thing is, but definitely need to give it a good cleaning. Been a while since it's been cleaned properly, and it's been run with a pretty dull chain. We got some round edges. Someone was cutting some rocks. Let's give her a bit of a blow down here and we'll check spark and all the other fun stuff. Plug says it's probably not burnt down, no signs of being lean, so that's a good sign. And got good spark. So there's a good chance that this should fire on a prime. I'm going to throw some gas in the tank too in the hopes that it doesn't need a carb kit, but if it does, we've got those. I mean, I could do a compression test on it right now, but it feels good enough to me that I don't really worry about it. If I had to guess, it's probably somewhere in the 170 range from how it feels. So let's put some gas in here that's not ancient. Okay, fuel line's not broke off. That's a good sign. And we'll see if we can make this thing fire. A little spill on her, for good measure. Now let's see if we can get this clip back in the tank. It's supposed to be. There we go. Oh, that don't fit very good. I hate flippy caps. There we go. Now we'll give her a little splash down the curb. It's a nice thing on these with no choke. And let's see if she does something. Well, that rattle I thought I heard before, got a worn piston skirt. For what he's going to use this saw for, it'll probably be okay, but I will double check with him on that. Because it does run, and it sounds like he just wants to cut up some trees around camp and that. But it definitely has a lot of time on it. And that carburetor is way out of tune. Let's see if we can make her idle. Provided I can find my carburetor screwdriver, because that always seems to grow legs. Oh, we got a screwdriver now. So it seemed to me like it's really rich. So we're going to try and take a little bit of that low speed out to start. Provided we can actually get on that screw. Oh, why won't you grab? Oh, because it's packed full of crap. Look at that. There we go. For a quarter turn over, and now we'll see if she idles. But we're also almost 2 turns open. So, I'll start at 1, which is about where it should be. I'm going to say probably going to have to put a carb kit in this thing unless that high is way too far open. But it's got a limiter cap on it, so I don't think it was. So we'll start, I'll go to 3/4 on the low. Just judging by the spit back coming out of this thing, I think that piston might just be too far gone. Throw the filter back on just for the heck of it, because this isn't a telecarb. And it does make a small difference on these, but thinking we've probably got some really stiff diaphragms in that carb, so that's why it's flooding itself. But it's also spitting a lot of fuel back out because that piston's so worn out. That's like I figured. Put the filter on and she floods herself out because there's so much fuel happening there. Definitely needs a carb kit. I will have to find out if he wants to do a pistoning this thing. But all in all, it's not in horrible shape. I don't think it's got a whole pile of time on it, but definitely needs a little bit of TLC. kit. We need flippy cap for the oil, probably an O-ring for the gas, obviously recoil rope and a handle. Chain looks decent. I can salvage that on the grinder. We will have to verify if the oiler works or not, but the big thing is they're going to find out if he wants to put a piston in it or not. But that's the first saw I've had apart in a while, and there you go. It does run, it's just not very happy about it. So, like I said, we'll have to see where he wants to go with it, see if he just wants it to run or if he actually wants it fixed properly. There's a big difference between what's going to happen between those two.